And welcome back to the Murdy Creative Co podcast. I'm your host, Colin Murdy, and today's topic is Facebook lied. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who supported the company so far. If you've got a chance, go check us out on the web at murdycreative.co. That's M-U-R-D-Y creative.co. You can also check us out on all the social media platforms. The links are at the top of the website. Be sure to join our Discord server to get information about new things, do the behind-the-scenes stuff. We're always working on doing more with our Discord server, so check out the link in the top of the description below, or you can check it out at the top of the website. So, this is an interesting topic, and I did not know if I really wanted to originally talk about it. Because this is one of those things, and I feel you should never be afraid to talk about anything that's true. However, in the world we live in today, talking about true things can get you in a lot of trouble. But at some level, you get in trouble either way, so you might as well tell the truth. We have been working hard to develop good Facebook strategies, to implement the best practices, because Facebook has been the sole place that we've been able to spend money thus far, advertising-wise, and accomplish any results that have been sustainable. And we have for years talked about how unfortunately dependent we are on the Facebook ecosystem for advertising. And by the way, that's Facebook and Instagram together, because they are together. And a big part of that is a side effect of the fact that the attention that most people are spending, the places where people are spending their time, is Facebook and Instagram. Now, obviously, there's a whole cadre of people spending time on TikTok, and that's an advertising strategy. And as bad as Facebook is, TikTok, in my opinion, is worse, and so I've been avoiding them for as long as I possibly can. And there's not a ton of other places that people spend time. I mean, there are, but there aren't. That's the vast majority of people's free time and attention is spent there. And in the world of business, there's always two sides of customer acquisition. There's getting new people, and then there's catering to your old people. And we've been working hard on coming up with new ways to cater to our old people, and that's a big part of our process. But at the same token, we have to get new eyeballs on our product. We aren't selling toilet paper, right? We're not selling something you need to buy every week. We're selling something that you buy once or twice or maybe 3 times if you're a big fan. But so because of that, we end up having to do a lot of new customer acquisition. And the problem is you have to get people's attention where they're actually paying attention. So being dependent on Facebook is a huge weakness to us, and that weakness was made very apparent this last couple of weeks. Facebook has something called standard enhancements. It's a functionality that you can turn on that applies to the ad campaign that you're on, and it says that it uses any text that you provide for headlines, description, and subheadings. And the way that the wording of that says is that basically any of the words that you put, the text that you put in for the heading, the subheading, or the details, or the description, I should say, can be swapped around into any of those positions to best optimize the ad. So it's functionally a way for you to test out different taglines. You can put 3 different taglines into those 3 different spots, and Facebook can be determined which of those taglines works best, and it can change that around. That's the way standard enhancements works. And that's what it specifically says in the function when you turn it on. It specifically says that it's text you provide. So you can imagine my surprise when I get a text message from my wife who said, "Hey, Colin, what's this emoji doing in the ad?" And I looked, and she had sent me a video that she had found that was an advertisement, Murdy Creative Co advertisement, with a rainbow emoji in front of it. Now, I was shocked, to say the least, because we hadn't done that. In fact, we as a company intentionally avoid trying to make overt political statements, right? We're a Christian company. We make no bones about that. We are a proud Made in USA company. We make no bones about that. And those two things do have potentially certain political connotations associated with them publicly. But that's not the same thing as supporting a political movement. So I was very upset when I saw this. We live in an era where doing something like that, making a statement like that, can get you boycotted. And if you're in the case of certain alcohol companies, can make you lose $26 billion in market cap. Now, we aren't a company that has $26 billion in market cap to lose. We're much worse. If half of our customers decided they weren't going to buy from us, particularly if they were a half of customers that were people who were very pro-Christianity, pro-Made in USA, if that particular customer base decided to not buy from us because they felt things, that would be a lot more than 50% of our business if I had to guess. That would be a huge problem. That could be the death knell of this company. And so for me to suddenly find that Facebook is co-opting my advertising dollars, co-opting my advertisements for, frankly, a promotion of an idea without my permission, without my consent, and without telling me. It didn't even tell me that this was something that might happen. I was livid. I go on customer service, Facebook customer service, and I am going back and forth with the person. And they did confirm to me that it was because the standard enhancements were turned on. That during the month of June, this was something that might happen because the standard enhancements were turned on. Now, as I pointed out to the customer service rep, and of course they couldn't help me because that's their job, is to not help me. I said to them, but specifically in the standard enhancements, it says the text that you provide, and I didn't provide that text, so how did it get there? So Facebook lied. Facebook said we were going to use the text you provide and we'll swap them around. But no, that's not actually true. Facebook is going to use whatever text Facebook wants to add to it. So for all of my promotion about how great it would be for Facebook to have their own AI and develop their own marketing, be able to build out their own marketing campaigns, if this is what it's going to happen with them, where Facebook is going to build out overtly political statements and put them into my advertisements with my ad dollars, then no, I do not want that to happen. I do not want Facebook to be advertised on. So I thought to myself, okay, that's what it is. So that was the 17th. And I turned off standard enhancements for every one of our advertisements. I thought to myself, you know what? As bad as this is, I don't have a way to go back in time and change it. So all I can do is, with the knowledge I have now, turn off the standard enhancements moving forward. That'll solve the problem going forward. So you'd be amazed at my surprise. On June 26th, when my wife sends me another video with a screen capture of the date and time and a video capture of her Facebook feed where she scrolls down, and suddenly there's another one of our ads with the emoji back. Somehow it got back. Somehow it's back on. And I, losing my mind, thought perhaps I missed something. Perhaps I hadn't fully turned off the standard enhancements. Maybe I missed one. So I went back and looked. Nope. All of the standard enhancements were off for all of our advertisements. And yet, here we are. So I contacted their customer service again, and I explained to them that this is happening, and I have video evidence that this is happening. Now, their concern was, well, this is just on your wife's phone, right? You haven't had any reports. I'm like, yeah, but that's not, nobody else is going to report this to us, right? My wife is the only person that knows about this situation and is able to probably analyze this properly. A regular customer is just going to see that and decide not to purchase. It's not that they're going to tell us about it. They're not going to ask us about it. They're just not going to buy. Right? So the fact that I only have one example is irrelevant to the point. I have one example when you said this should stop. And what they told me was, they said, well, that's not what we're seeing on our end. We're not seeing that emoji's there on our end. I'm sorry, what? Well, then whose end is this on? If you and the back end aren't seeing this, and I on my side aren't seeing this, but my wife is seeing this, what's happening? And their customer service rep, after 45 minutes, didn't help me at all. Couldn't provide any help. Obviously, like I said, their job is to stonewall me. They gave me some nonsense answer about how I needed to log off and log back in. Perhaps that would reset things. Like that's like telling a kid, okay, I need you to go run over there and pick up that toy and then run over there and put it down. Right? That's just a waste of time. It's not like that's meaningful. And they wouldn't escalate it when I asked them to escalate it. I said, I'd like to speak to someone, and they wouldn't do it. So I did the only thing I could do, and I shut off all our ads on Facebook. We did end up turning up the ads on Google, which is a little bit like, rather than signing a check to Lucifer, signing it to Satan, right? You have your choice between your corporate overlords. It's so nice of them to provide you that false dichotomy. But either way, even if it's just a Pyrrhic victory, at least it's a victory nevertheless, I cut down all of our Facebook ads and I spend all of our money on Google. And frankly, of course, that's performing poorly. So I'm working frantically on trying to figure out how to make our Google ads better. more complex, more nuanced Google campaign is in the works of being built, but to try to build all of what we'd built on Facebook on Google is a challenge and an uphill climb, and it's not coming at a good time. This is not a good time for us. This is a very, very bad time for us. End of month is always hard for us. This one, particularly so. But if I don't do anything, if I just let this slide again and again and again, like everyone else seems to be doing, it never stops. And I can't let some corporate overlord say what I want to have in my ads. They don't get to pick that. And that's not a product that they were selling me before. And now I know it is. Now, the hard facts and the hard truth of the matter is this. I'm not willing to lose the business over this. That just is letting them win by a different name. So they said specifically, and they lied, but who knows? Maybe they're telling the truth this time, right? Here I am, Charlie Brown with Lucy and the football all over again, but let's pretend like it's going to happen this way. They said that the standard enhancements that I was seeing was because of the month of June. So perhaps in the month of July, it'll be gone. And then perhaps in the month of July, we can carry forward and we can go back to advertising on Facebook. And in the short term, we probably will have to do that. Maybe not right away, July 1st, but soon into July, we'll need to go back and doing that. And to some extent, what I'll probably do is I probably will manually add the American flag emoji to ours, because to some extent, that's my own little standard enhancement that I can put in our text, and that will be added by me. Hopefully by that point, the standard enhancement from June will be gone fully and out of their system, although I somehow doubt that it'll be entirely gone because it's never entirely gone. And then at that point, we will be moving forward. Now, some might say, Colin, you're making a political statement even by talking about it. And the answer is maybe I am. I don't want to. I don't want this to be political. I make journals. We make leather binders, journals, folios, things. I don't want to talk politics. I want to make nice products. Right? I don't think every product should be a statement of personal belief. It's become that way, and I don't know how we got to this point, right? It used to be that buying from a business was a thing that you bought the product, you bought the goods and services because it was the best of the options for the goods and services, not because the company stood for something you believed in. And it's become more and more like that. And the problem is that it's becoming less and less capable for people to just exist as a business that makes a product, right? I don't know if it's because as a society we've lost our sense of purpose outside of our possessions. I think that that's a big problem, right? Perhaps 20, 30 years ago, there was this idea that our personal pride was able to be that, we're Americans and we're Christians and we're Muslims and we're Jewish. And there was people who I was baseball fans, right? You had these big things that you were able to build your personality around or your belief system around. You had purpose associated with those things. And now that we've turned all things that are statements of purpose into something bad, right? It's bad to be an American. It's bad to be a Christian. It's bad because we've turned all of those things into statements of negative purpose. People have to find their purpose in some other manner, and the only one that they can come up with is consumerist possessions, that my purpose is to support whatever political ideology I want through my purchases. We vote with our dollars. I understand that. We do vote with our dollars. In fact, voting with our dollars is the most democratic aspect of our lives. And I am voting with my dollars to not use Facebook, at least in the near term, because of that choice. However, I just want to make leather journals. I just want to make leather journals. And if you're the kind of person that likes to write in a leather journal, regardless of your political beliefs, because they're irrelevant to that particular aspect of your life, I want you to be able to buy my product. I want you to buy my product because I make a good leather journal, amongst other good things that are made out of leather. And so I'm so tired of this. And I'm frustrated that it's become the kind of thing where you can't just do that anymore. You have to pick a side. And if I have to pick a side, I know what side I'm going to pick. But I don't want it to be that. I don't want to have to do that. It feels more and more like we're being pushed into it, however. And it feels more and more like there's no choices left. But know this. If you're listening to this, regardless of your political beliefs, regardless of your religious or affiliated beliefs, I want to make a good leather journal. That's what I feel I'm put here to do. I want to make a good leather binder, leather folio, leather briefcase. I want to make good leather products. And I'm going to do that to the best of my abilities. And I hope that even if you disagree with me on one aspect or another, you can realize that regardless of that, we can agree that this is a good leather journal and it's worth buying. We don't use our dollars at the Murdy Creative Company to fund political positions, right? We don't have dollars to do that. Our dollars go to keeping the lights on and buying leather from our suppliers and keeping our people employed, right? That's what our dollars go to. They don't go to political statements. So if you're worried that supporting a company like mine will somehow support some political party, promise you it won't. We don't have the money for that kind of thing. We're way, way, way too small for that. All we can focus on is staying alive and keeping the doors open and the lights on one more day. That's what our dollars have to go to. And frankly, that's what all dollars should be going to in companies. They should not be going to political positions. Anyway, practicality will factor into this going forward. We will be advertising again on Facebook at some point in the near future. We don't have the support. Google is not providing us with the sales we need to continue to exist. So I'm not willing to lose the company over this because that's just letting them win by a different manner. So instead, we will be boycotting Facebook until the end of the month of June, and we will be going back to Facebook sometime early July in a much smaller way, and I will try to balance out the Google advertising so that it actually performs well enough for us to potentially have them as a backup, and we will continue to pursue aggressively alternative forms of advertising. Because I want to have more options. I don't want to be pigeonholed into these one things. It's way too much risk for us, and we're seeing that risk come to fruition right now. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. I know many of you will have strong opinions, perhaps. Please keep them civil in the comments. Remember, this is a journal company. We focus on journals. We focus on binders. We focus on folios. We focus on briefcases, amongst other things. That's what this is all about. And regardless of where you come from, regardless of your background, I think we can all appreciate that. I think we can all come together around the idea of writing in these beautiful things as a good thing. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in today and for tuning into our 400th episode. This is an exciting thing, right? That's a lot of hours of me talking, to be honest. Either way, be sure to tune back in next Thursday for that. Not next Thursday. Excuse me. Next Thursday, we will not have a podcast. We'll have a writing tip on Thursday. It's because of the 4th of July weekend. There won't be any time for me to record a podcast. So there won't be a podcast next week, but there will be a podcast the week after. I wish you all, in that case, because I'm not going to say, I wish you all the best for the 4th of July. I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Please stay safe. Obviously, this is a great weekend for showing off those amazing explosive devices you have. But that can also lead to a lot of risk. So if you're blowing off fireworks, do it safely, please. I want you all to come back with all of your hands that you can use to write in my journals. So it's purely selfish. Please stay safe. Have a great weekend. If you're going to be boating, if you're going to be drinking, please don't drive. I have a personal soft spot about that particular issue because a friend of mine. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, though, and enjoy it because it is a good weekend. If you have any questions or concerns about your product, anything that we sell, please feel free to reach out to us on the main page of our website at murdycreative.co. We are going to be undergoing some website redesigns, so hopefully there'll be more information coming about that soon. I'd like to do a podcast on that because it's a big thing and it's a big deal, and hopefully it'll come to soon. But so if for whatever reason, anything I'm saying here, you're like, I can't find it, please send us an email, sales@murdycreative.co. That's always a good backup if you can't find what you're looking for on the website. We're happy to help. You can also give us a phone call, 414-434-9001. We're available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Time. Please note that we will be closed on Monday as well. So we will be closed Saturday through Tuesday over the 4th of July weekend, so that 4 days we will not be available. You can leave us a voicemail. We will call you back. You can send us an email. We will be happy to respond to that when we get back in the office. So please definitely check that out. If you think we deserve it, a good review can go a long way to help us grow. A review on the Murdy Creative Co products can be left at murdycreative.co/review. That will take you right now to Google, although in the past it's gone to Facebook and other places. Wherever you leave that good review, wherever that takes you, that does help us. We obviously kind of switch those around depending on where we want the reviews to be. For Google SEO optimization, Facebook advertising optimization, there's different reasons. So please go ahead to murdycreative.co/review and leave us a review there. You can also read our reviews there. That helps. If you have any podcast topics you want to hear more about, please tell us. I want to talk to you guys about this. I want to know more. So send us a request in our Discord or send us an email or whatever. Be happy to talk to that about. Share the company with your friends and family. We'd love to do that. You want to get a little something for that, check that at the bottom left-hand corner of the website. There's a little rewards tab there. If you're looking for multiple items for gifts, giveaways, menus, really any reason, we do have bulk discounts built right into the cart. All you need to do is mix and match to your heart's desire, add everything to your cart that you want to get, and hit checkout. The minimum discount quantity starts at 5 eligible items. So once you get those 5 items in your cart and you hit checkout, it'll automatically apply the appropriate discount, and as you add more, it'll apply the better discount. So check that out. If you want to know more about that program, send us an email. We'll be happy to talk more about that. If you're looking for a custom engraved item, we have no minimum order quantities and no setup fees. It's a simple flat fee per item, normally about $15 depending on it, but that can go down with the bulk discount. So if you're going to get a whole bunch of something engraved with your company logo, it's a lot less than $15 per item of that additional cost. Also, if you want to do that, you can add one to your cart and then change the quantity in your cart. So rather than having to go back and forth. And if, for example, you're going to get names and a company logo, you can add the company logo, put example name in the bottom corner, change the quantity to whatever you want it to be, and then add the names in the order notes. That's a simple way to do it. That way you don't have to go back and forth adding names like that, because that's kind of a pain. So check that out. We'd be happy to help you answer any questions there. If for whatever reason you don't see the add custom logo blue button on the product pages, which is how you launch the customizer, feel free to send us an email. We'd be happy to create a custom item mockup, as well as a link that you can use to order that custom item at checkout. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and goodbye.